Hello. So I'm going to teach you how to make a self-presenting slideshow. Okay, so this is something like you would create a file that would be shared with other people to view. So it's not in person. So if you're doing something in person, of course, you'd be standing in the front, talking, clicking the slides yourself. But sometimes you're not doing a presentation in person, but you're kind of sharing your presentation over the internet. So somebody opens up the slides, it plays by themselves, they automatically advance, and perhaps they either have some background music or you actually narrating, and your narration would be recorded as the slides advance automatically. So I'll show you how to do that. The first thing I want to show you is inserting background music for your PowerPoint slideshow. So not all slideshows have narration, but something to be careful about: if you don't narrate, your slides should be very clear and explain things very well. So when you have a slide, people should be able to understand what you're talking about just by looking at the slides. Okay, so pretty easy. When you insert, you can insert music, audio into your slide, and when you insert your audio, it appears like this. Let me just play it for you. Okay, I don't know if you hear that. Maybe you can increase the volume. Okay, and you need to set the options for that. When you go into the playback here, you want to set it to play in the background of your presentation. You probably want it to start automatically when your presentation starts, and you want to play it across all slides. If you don't have this checked, it will only play on this slide, and as soon as you advance to the next slide, it'll stop playing, so you want that checked. And this one is for if your presentation is actually longer than the actual music track, then it will just start over again. Otherwise, if you don't have that, once the music track finishes, it'll stop playing, it'll just be silent, and you just kind of keep presenting with no background music. Okay, so if your presentation you plan to be longer than the music, then put that one in there. Okay, and then some other options that you can play around with. Okay, so that's background music. Next thing I want to talk about is how to share your presentation in a format that it plays automatically. Okay, so when you make a PowerPoint, it comes in the format of a PPTX. If you can look at the extension here, PPTX, and what that means is that you have this presentation in edit mode. Okay, so which means that you can go through the slides like this, choose which slide you want, and you can edit this. Okay, so the way you do this as a self-playing one, that when they double click on the file it just starts playing, is you have to save it in a format called PPS. S means slideshow, I believe. Okay, so slideshow, and how you get to that is, well, first of all, I suggest always saving first as PPT. That way you can always go back and edit. Okay, after you have a copy in PPT, then go to oops, I just press save there, file, save as, and in here you can see the options of the format, and you want to find the one that says PPSX, okay, PowerPoint show. Okay, and once you save it in that format, it'll become a file that when you double click it, it'll open and start playing automatically. Okay, so when you make it PPS, the user will still have to click to advance the slides. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to record it or make the transitions automatic. Okay, so after a certain time. So I went over that in animations and transitions, where you can actually make things go automatically instead of on click. Okay, and we'll kind of show a slightly different way here. Okay, if you ever do need to, for some reason edit a PPS, you just kind of right click on it and then there's an option called new. But yeah. So self-timing to advance your slides. Okay, so we learned in transitions that you can go in here and instead of on mouse click, you can put after a certain time. So you can actually change that to after. But I'll show you a better way, especially if you're planning on this being an actual presentation, is you can use the record function. And that's in here, slideshow. And you're going to record your slideshow, including the narrations, timings, etc. So let me just try this out. So you can see here your presentation. You can even draw with a pen and point to things too during your presentation if you record in this way. Okay, so I'm going to hit the record button, and I'm recording from the current slide. So you can see current slide here. Let's just do a count. 1, 2, 3. I'll click 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's stop that. And let's get out of this presentation mode, which I believe is clicking this X here. And as you can see, the slides that I've recorded all have this sound right here. Okay, so I started recording from this slide. And if you go to the transitions now, you can actually see that I had spent 6 seconds on this slide. So it's going to advance automatically after 6 seconds. This one after 3 seconds. And if I want to go ahead and play that, let me just show you what my recording would be like. Okay. Okay, so I actually wasn't clicking there. Okay, so those were actually advancing automatically, okay, without me clicking, because it had recorded the timing of those clicks. And since it was after 6 seconds, after 3 seconds, they were actually advancing automatically. And the nice thing about this is, let's say I make a mistake on this slide, I can actually go to this audio and delete it, and record this slide again. So you can actually do that for individual slides. So be aware of that. If you make a mistake during your recording, don't worry, you can always go back and record that slide again. Okay. Let's just get rid of all those. Okay. And let's try it all the way from the beginning. Okay. So let's go to slideshow, record show from the beginning. Okay. Usually that plays automatically. I don't know why I had to actually click that to get the background music to work. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and yeah, for some reason my music stopped playing. But well, I forgot to hit the record button. But okay, well, anyways, you get the idea of how that works. Okay, so once you've done all the recordings and all those, like little speaker icons appear there, you'll have a fully recorded presentation. And then all you have to do is go ahead, File, Save As, PPS, and then that file as PPS can be shared with any of your viewers. And so if you emailed that to me, I could just open that file. It would play automatically. I would hear you talking, or I would hear your background music, whatever you decide to put in there as sound. And also, I wouldn't have to click. I would just kind of sit there and watch it as if it was a movie, right? Because you're the one that's clicking. You've recorded your own clicking, so that's all timed. And I just have to sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation. Okay, so let's see. Anything else I missed? Okay, so you record your slideshow. If you mess up, you can always redo it. Okay, narrating and recording your narrating. Well, I should also mention animations. So animations also work the same as the transitions. When you click, the animation will be recorded. When you click, that animation will come in at the exact timing of when you click. So if I click this after 1 second, and then I click this after 3 seconds, and then I click this after 5 seconds, it will come in exactly with those timings. Now you might not always want that, and let me just show you what I mean. Let's say I want all of these to come in at the same time. So let's just put that and let's have a fade in effect like that. Okay, so if I turn on my animation pane, you can actually see there 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see each of them coming in, and they actually come in on these ones with previous, right? This one here, but these ones actually come in on click. So I actually have to click for number 2 to come in, and I have to click for number 3 to come in. But I can change that. Let's have them come in after previous with a delay of 2 seconds, and this one also come in after the previous with a delay of 2 seconds. Okay, so if I play that, okay, and you can see that I click and then they actually come in like that. Okay, I kind of messed up that one right there, but you can kind of see the 2 seconds. So if you were to do that in your recording, it would actually respect that. So while you're recording, you don't have to click. They would actually come in after 2 seconds. But if you did click, they would come in earlier. Okay, but if you don't click, they'll come in 2 seconds and respect that animation. Okay, and what if your animations are longer than the actual timing on the slide? So if you spend, if you have your slide timing, the transition timing, for example, like 3 seconds, and then your animation timings all add up to like 8 seconds, what it'll do is it'll automatically shorten your animations to fit in the time that you use to transition your slide. Okay, so go ahead, give that a try. Let me know if you have any problems, because this is the format that you're going to be using for your PowerPoint project.